Hey guys, Skiloose here. So, I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers doing tier lists lately. It's seeming to become a bit of a trend, really. I saw H3 did one today. iDubbbz has been making them. And naturally, with every trend, I gotta hop right on that because, I'm a sellout, really, is the gist of it. I don't care about my content, I just care about the money and the views. So, what I'm going to be doing today is a tier list that, despite a lot of searching, I saw that nobody really had done it yet. I'm actually going to be ranking the crayon colors. As I'm sure you're aware, the crayons colors are very deep-rooted and symbolic, so I don't want anyone to get offended by this, because I know that there's a lot of controversy about this, especially lately with like the burning of the Notre Dame Cathedral. There was a lot of conspiracy with the crayons and whatnot. So I don't really want this to get political or anything, so try to keep it clean in the comments, and I guess we just jump into this. I don't know what else to do. So, starting off with number 1, we got red crayon. Okay. When I open up a box of crayons, the very first thing I do is I go for the red crayon. And that's just a personal thing. Because, like, when I see the red crayon, the first thing that comes to mind is raspberries. And who doesn't like raspberries? So, although if you eat too many raspberries, then your throat kind of starts hurting because they're very, like, acidic. So, red's pretty good, but it's not perfect. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Red's gonna fall under A tier here. Okay. Next, orange crayon. Now, I've never really been a big fan of orange crayon, honestly. Yeah, I'm very indecisive about this one because when I think of orange crayon, I just can only think about how unoriginal the name is. Because you have a fruit that is orange and you call it an orange, and then you also have a crayon that's orange and you call it orange. It just seems lazy to me, and the inventor of orange, I think, just should have done better. And that sucks. That really does suck, but I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna put orange crayon, I'm gonna put it in E tier, because I respect what it does and what it's done for the crayon community, but come on. It's just not that good of a name. Okay, next up, going in order of the rainbow here, we got yellow crayon. Yellow crayon I wasn't always a big fan of. Actually, growing up, I wasn't a fan of yellow crayons at all. Mostly a racial thing on my part. I'm unimportant. So yellow crayon I wasn't a big part of, but as I watched yellow crayon progress in society, and he started taking up a career in photography, and now yellow crayon is the only crayon that's done anything with his life, which seriously impressive, honestly, to go from being, a crayon to having a career in photography. I gotta give yellow crayon props, despite what I believe. He's gotta go in S tier, honestly. So yellow crayon, that's an S tier for me. Next up, we have green crayon. Oh gosh. Green crayon I'm never sure of, because when I think of things that are green, the first thing that comes to mind is in Lego Batman, the toxic waste. And that's not very good because most characters it hurts. But, if you're playing as Two-Face, you can walk in the toxic waste. And there's a couple other characters too. So, yeah, that's a difficult one. Because if you think about it, with sticking with Lego Batman here, the villain side is more fun than the hero side when you're playing through it. So the villains are the ones that can walk through the toxic waste. I think I'm gonna put that in B tier. I think green's gonna go in B tier simply because of the toxic waste factor. I think that's a good way to put it. So next up, we're actually going to do roll of tape. There's a roll of duct tape here. This one's very challenging for me because roll of tape very influential character. Okay, I'm not gonna deny the power that roll of tape has had on us as a society. You know, it became a meme back in 2012. Everyone was going around, roll of tape, roll of tape. You know how it was. But the fact that it isn't a crayon brings it down a few notches on my chart. Not much, because like, if this were ranking rolls of tape, I think roll of tape would probably be S tier. But the fact that it is ranking crayons, I can't give it full credit. So I'm gonna kind of strike a balance, because I know people will be mad at me if I put it super high. I'm gonna put roll of tape in C tier. Because I feel like any higher, it's like, it's not even a crayon, but any lower, it's like, but the influential effects of it, you know. So that's gonna go in C tier. Coming up next is blue crayon. Now looking at this crayon here, I can see that it's dark blue, and that's really where I'm conflicted. If it was light blue or baby blue or sky blue, any other blue, it would be S tier, okay? But it's not. It's dark blue. And when I'm trying to draw the sky and all I have is dark blue, if I'm trying to color that in, it kind of ruins the whole picture, because you got the clouds and their contrast, and then the grass is green because I don't use dark green on the grass, so it's very muddy and looking. I don't want to do it, but I think I have to. Blue crayon's gonna go in F tier for me. It has a lot of potential, but not quite. Okay, next up is purple crayon. Purple's my favorite color. That puts it pretty high up. But purple crayon was also responsible for the Holocaust. Not too good. If purple crayon wasn't responsible for the Holocaust, it would be S tier. But I think the genocide of millions of Jewish people that did nothing wrong, that's gonna bring it down to A tier, I think. Purple crayon is under A tier. Coming up next is white crayon. Now, white crayon's an interesting one, because you try to use white crayon on a white sheet of paper, you're not really gonna be able to see it. Obviously, it's white paper, putting white on white. So it's a very challenging pick. But if you use white crayon in the right situation, if you use it on a black sheet of paper, white crayon looks really, really good. But it's just so situational, you know? Like, how often do you really need a white crayon? Not too often. So, same with roll of tape. I'm gonna put it under C tier, because, you know, it's just kind of a sometimes thing. Okay. Finally, fascist leader of Italy during World War II, Mussolini. Now, Mussolini is an interesting one to me, because when I think of crayons, he's one of the last colors to come to mind. I don't really think about fascist leader Mussolini when I'm thinking about crayons very often. But at the same time, when I am like drawing something with crayons, Mussolini is one of the most versatile colors. If I'm trying to draw anything from a tree to a house to I don't even know. There's just so many different good uses for Mussolini. Plus, props to him for, you know, kind of taking control of Italy and seizing control during World War II. Like, he almost won. If the U.S. hadn't been involved, who knows what would have happened with fascist leader Mussolini. So, I'm gonna put him in S tier. I think fascist leader Mussolini deserves an S tier more than any of these other colors. So, that's my tier list. Put down in the comment section below, do you agree with this or not? Yeah, I think this is the undisputed tier list of crayons. So, leave a like if you enjoyed, Let's try to get to 1 billion likes. And thanks for watching. Bye.